entendu très bien.
Ah, très, très bien. Très, très bien. Et, juste une seconde, je vais augmenter le volume, peut-être, si j'arrive à augmenter le volume. Je suis vraiment désolé pour ce qui s'est passé. Et, Sunil, could you please present yourself?
Okay. My name is Sunil Sharan. I'm 55 years old. I'm Indian by origin, American by nationality.
Yes.
I'm based in India right now. I'm looking after my mother. So I returned from the US a year and a half ago. My education is mostly engineering. I've got my master's in electrical engineering from University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign in the US. I've also done a one-year fellowship program from the École Polytechnique in Paris, in France. I spoke much better French than I do now.
Yes.
I've been working in the corporate sector and clean energy, clean technologies for about 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And the sector basically fell apart.
Yeah.
So I started writing as a profession. First, I started writing for newspapers like the Washington Post and Fortune and HuffPost. And then I write for Dawn of Pakistan. Dawn is their premier paper. Times of India, which is the world's largest paper. So writing for different countries has given me an insight into how different people think. And I've lived, my father was an army officer, Indian army officer. So I've lived in, yeah, I can see you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Now I hear you better. Do you hear me better?
Now I can hear you now.
Oh, you don't hear me now.
No, I hear you. I hear you now. I hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Yes, I hear you better now. Okay. So you can continue. Yes.
Right. So my father was an Indian army officer.
Yes. Yes.
And I lived in different parts of in India.
Yeah. Uh, uh, Sunil, I saw that you wrote many books. Especially, I think you wrote a book on the biography of the Prime Minister, Indian Prime Minister. Is it correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Could you tell us somewhat what do you think about the relations between Muslims, Indians, and Christians in India? As you know, India is a very large country, and we here, in fact, we are surprised how a small Muslim minority could conquer the Indian subcontinent and govern it. What happened, in fact?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you fine.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, so why Muslims could dominate Indians? Or Indus, although they were normally a minority. Do you hear me?
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, yeah. could you explain, please, when Muslims began dominating the Indian subcontinent?
When did they start dominating in the Indian subcontinent?
In which century Muslims began dominating India?
In the 13th century.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. It is. In which century, please?
In the 13th century.
Yes, in the 13th century. Were they
Yeah.
the majority or the minority in India?
No, they were a very small minority.
Yeah,
They initially came from, the very first guys came from Arabia.
yeah,
And then the people who uh,
yeah.
this thing is going on, something in the background. What I've spoken.
So,
So they basically um, came. The Afghans were the first people to really conquer India,
yeah,
and they ruled over India for 300 years.
yeah,
And then the Mughals came, and they ruled for about 300 years.
yeah,
So in all, Muslim rule in India is about 600 to 700 years.
yeah,
The reason they were able to conquer India was, I, I hear you fine.
yeah,
Yeah, the the reason they were able to conquer Indians so easily was, firstly, the Indians were mostly farmers,
yes,
so it was a settled civilization.
yes,
Whereas these guys came from nowhere. They came from Central Asia, from Afghanistan, and
yes,
all they had done all their life was fight.
yes,
So they were very adept in fighting.
yes.
Uh,
Yes. Continue, please. Oh, oh my God. Yes, I have still another problem. I have still another problem. My God, what is happening in today? Okay, I think that's okay. Okay, you may continue. Yes, please.
yeah, as I told you,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. You may continue, my dear friend. Yes.
Yeah, so they were able to continue because I told you they were warriors,
Aha. Yes.
and the Indians were peasants. Indians were farmers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the Indians had not practiced warfare,
Aha. Yeah.
whereas the Afghans and the Mughals, they were very good at warfare.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so what the Afghans did was they basically did mass.
Yeah. how would you describe the domination of Muslims over the Indus? Were they violent? Were they peaceful? Uh, could you describe us what happened in fact?
No, it was horrible. It was slavery.
Uh-huh.
It was the biggest genocide that has been perpetrated.
Oh,
100 million Indians died.
oh yeah.
For,
Oh
for,
yeah.
six, for 6 centuries, the Hindu population of India contracted
Yes.
until the
Yes.
British came, and that was the first century when the Hindu population uh, increased. The Muslims
Yes.
were horrible, horrible. They broke all our temples, they stole all the gold and the
Yes.
jewels from the temples.
Yes.
They, they were horrible. They put taxes like the jizya.
Yes.
They put all kinds of pilgrim taxes.
Yes.
Uh, they looted, they raped Indian women.
Yes.
It's the worst genocide in the history of mankind. What happened in
Yes.
India?
Yeah. Yes. Uh, 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 now, why India was divided between Pakistan and India? What was the reason behind that?
Well, the real reason was the Pakistanis were Muslim,
Yes.
and once the British left, the Hindus
Yes.
would be in a majority.
Yes.
So the Hindus would call the shots in a democratic setup.
Yes.
And so the Muslims were 25% of India,
Yes.
and they didn't want to be ruled by Hindus
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they felt that they had been the rulers for the last uh, 600, 700 years, and now they could not.
Yes. You can continue. Yes.
Yeah, so basically they didn't want to be dominated by the Hindus. I think
Yes.
they also knew that with the amount of bad things they had done to the Hindus,
Yes.
there would be some reaction to them.
Yes. Yes. And now, how
So
many Muslims still live in India?
uh, about 200 million.
Oh my God, 200 millions Muslims in India.
200 to 250 million.
Yeah. Do you think that they would like again divide India again between Muslims and Hindus?
Yes,
Oh, so they will create another Pakistan.
yes.
Oh, and what would be the reaction of India of Hindus if they know that their country is really under danger?
There'll be civil war.
Oh, there is a civil war. Oh
No,
yeah,
there is not a civil war. There will be a civil war.
it will be. Yeah,
Il y aura un guerre civile.
yeah. Uh, 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 could you please explain to us how do you imagine cohabitation between Hindus and Muslims in India? What are the conditions uh, 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 that Hindus and Muslims must respect? There will be a peaceful cohabitation between the two communities.
Well, there is a peaceful cohabitation right now. It's uneasy, but it is peaceful.
Yeah, it is peaceful now.
It is peaceful, but it's uneasy
Yes.
because the Muslims they don't consider India their country.
Oh, they don't consider India as their country.
Yeah, their loyalty is still to Pakistan, to Saudi Arabia. Uh,
Mhm.
their first loyalty is not to India.
Oh, oh, yeah, yeah, I understand. I understand what you are saying. I understand, but if you were to give an advice for Muslims and Hindus, say, let us avoid a civil war in the future, what would you ask Muslims to do, and what you would ask Hindus to do? Should they forget the past? Should they forget their religious principles? What is the situation?
Well, I mean, the Hindu is very accommodating
Oh, yeah.
because we have many gods, and we can incorporate any other god into our
Yes.
pantheism of gods. So
Yes.
Allah, we can pray to Allah, we can pray to Jesus, and still remain a Hindu. With the
Oh,
Muslims,
yes.
that's not the case. The
Oh, yeah.
Muslims are very exclusionary.
Yes.
You have
Yes.
to you have to pray to Allah and no one else.
Yeah. 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 You know, I
So
I was
the
teaching. Sunil, I was teaching in France, and I have an Hindu student, a girl, yes, a female student, and I asked her, how could you live with so many gods? We have one God and we have problems with this one God. How could you cohabitate, live with so many gods? And she told me, it was very amazing. She said, yes, because every God has its qualities, its purposes. If you are sick, you will pray that God. If you would like to have rain, you have to pray, you can pray another God. If you have to succeed in the university, on the school, studies, you have to pray another God. This is what she told me. This is what she told me. I don't know to what extent this is, but now interesting for us. I thought that you converted to Christianity.
no,
I
no,
thought,
I've not converted to Christianity.
but I thought I saw a title of a book, Why I Became Christian, isn't?
No, 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 no. How I came to Christ. It is
Ex-
different from becoming Christian.
Excuse me?
No, basically the book is called How I Came to Christ.
Aha, aha,
It is
aha.
it is not why I became Christian. No, no, I'm Hindu.
Ah, you are still Hindu. And you told me even that, in fact, you consider Jesus Christ as one of your gods.
Yeah, I worship Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Oh,
I find him the healer. Just like the woman told you,
yes,
I I pray to the healer aspect of Jesus
yes,
Christ.
yes,
I had a
yes,
very bad neck problem,
yes,
and I feel Jesus Christ helped cure it.
yes, yes.
So basically, I worship him every day.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Okay, excellent information. Because I could not imagine that you consider Jesus Christ as one of your gods.
No, no, it is the difference between Christians and Muslims is in India.
Yeah.
The Christians do a lot of social service.
Yes.
They open up schools called convent schools. They teach English. They
Yes.
open up hospitals.
Yes.
The Muslims don't do anything.
Off. Off. Yeah. Yeah. They
The,
don't.
two, the 250 million Muslims, all they do is bitch, bitch, and bitch.
Off.
They're always they're always trying to pick a fight with the Hindus,
My God.
and they don't
How?
do any service to society.
Yeah. But, eh, 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 but you see, do you imagine that once Muslims will reconsider their religious convictions so they can cohabitate with non-Muslims, not only in India, but also in Europe, because you lived also in the West, and you know we have now a huge problem with Muslims in the West.
No, they will never reconsider anything. It's a cult.
They
It's
will
a cult.
never make concessions on their religion.
No, no, not a single concession. Not a single concession.
Oh my! It means that the civil war is inevitable.
Yeah, yeah, the same problem India faced. At 25% Muslims, Pakistan has formed, and another 10% Muslims in France, and they will want a separate country.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was telling my students, I was teaching Islamic law. Although I am Christian, I was teaching Islamic law in the French universities. I told them, wait a moment, wait a moment. In some years, you will have the Republic of Marsilia. I told them, you will have a Muslim republic in Marseille. They will say, how? Why? I said, but this is their way of thinking. That in fact, to be a Muslim, you have to be governed by a Muslim man, a ruler. You have to obey to the Islamic law, uh, and your others must be, in fact, inferior to you. This is the situation. Also, the course should be Muslim, so they ask to have their own course. So I could not. Still now, I don't know how. I would ask Muslims. What should I ask Muslims to change? For myself, you know, what I say to Muslims, look, we have absolutely to change the concept of revelation. The concept of revelation. As long as you say this Quran comes from God and God is exclusive, so there will never be peace with Muslims. Do you think this is a correct reasoning?
Yeah, yeah, they will never be peace with Muslims. Muslims are enjoined by their religion. I'm not sure by the Quran or some hadith, but
Yes,
they are enjoined to produce as many children as possible so that
yes,
they dominate the earth. They're already
yes,
they're already 1.8 billion people.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And in places like India, there's just a holding pattern till they start. We have the same places like Marseille. We have a place called Hyderabad with 40% Muslims, 40%.
oh,
And
yeah,
it's like a Muslim town.
yeah,
In Delhi, the capital city, you see so many Muslim women uh, with the full face burqa,
burqa,
all
yeah,
black, all black in color. So many, so many. I live near a Muslim locality.
yeah, yeah. Do you do do you live in the States or do you live in India now?
Pardon me?
Where do you live now?
I live in Delhi.
Ah, you are still in India.
I'm in India. I'm here for some time, quite some time.
Aha, okay, okay. Let me know, what about the cow? The Indian tradition about the cow. It is forbidden to kill a cow and to eat a cow. Uh, do Muslims accept this Indian concept?
The Muslims like to eat the cow.
Huh? Yes.
In the cow, they can make concessions because it's not a religious thing for them.
Yeah.
But But in other things like treatment of the women or praying five times a day or holding rosa for 1 month, they're not going to make any concessions there.
Yeah.
And they are not going to make any concessions that there's no God but Allah. So
Yeah.
we are all kafirs. We
Yeah.
Hindus for them are all kafirs.
Yeah.
And we should all be converted to Islam.
Yes. Yes.
That is the sole aim of a Muslim.
Yes. Yes.
Offer dawat. You know, dawat is an
Yes.
Arabic word.
Dawah.
Da-
Yes.
da-
Yes,
Dawat.
I know. Yes.
So they offer dawat for you to become Muslim.
Yes. Yes.
In
Yes.
in previous times, if they offer dawat to you and you said no, they will cut your head off.
Off. Yeah.
During the Muslim rule of India, that's how they grew so fast.
Yes.
They basically offered dawat. The person said yes, okay, come on, become Muslim. Person said no, okay, cut his head off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they still keep continuing offering dawat.
Yes.
They are very evangelical.
Yes.
They are as evangelical as Christians are.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Christianity has seen reform.
Yes.
Islam has never seen reform for 1400 years.
Yes. You are right. You are right. You are right. Do you imagine that here in the Western countries, where there are already almost 30 million Muslims at least, do you think that there will be a civil war?
Yeah, I think at some point there is, like in France, a 9% population, UK 5%. The problem is the Indian Muslim is very much like the Indian Hindu
Yes.
because he's a convert from Hinduism to Islam.
Yes.
But his eating, his thinking, the sports he plays, how he's brought up is very similar to the Hindu,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yes.
In Europe, that is not the case. In Europe, the Muslims are immigrants,
Yes.
and they're not brought up by the same way like the
Yes.
white population of Europe.
Yes.
They don't like to see women in bikinis roaming around in bikinis in Marseille or Montpellier. They find all these things objectionable.
Yes.
So they may not say it openly, but they dislike Western culture.
Yes.
They've only come to the West to make money.
Yes.
They have no contribution to the society in anything. They do not send their soldiers to war.
Yeah.
The only aim is basically make money, settle down, have a family, marry another Muslim, and just expand that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll keep criticizing the Western customs.
Yes.
Drinking alcohol, they criticize that. They don't like to see women go and party. I met one guy, a taxi driver in Toronto. He told me about these two women he had picked up dead drunk from the bar, right? And he
Yes.
used to read the Quran and everything, but he didn't like these women who are drunk from the bar. So basically,
Yes.
they are going to upend. They want to upend all
Yes.
that is dear to the Western man.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Now you wrote a book about Indus, which you offered me before publishing it. Will it be published soon in India or elsewhere?
I'm looking for an agent right now for the book.
Yes.
I've got 7 endorsements.
Yes.
That looks good. It's also a
Yes.
hot topic.
Yes.
It's a hot topic in the West.
Yes. Very.
So I'm very hopeful the book will get published and it will sell well.
Yes.
But I think it's a question of another 6 to 8 months
Yes. Yeah.
before it
Yeah.
gets published.
Yeah. I hope you will succeed publishing it, because, as I told you, I read it and it was a really very, very interesting book. I learned a lot from your book, because you see, India is so far from our countries. It's so
Yeah,
far. And we
yeah.
could not imagine this situation. We could not imagine this situation. Okay. Okay. Now, uh, 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 should Muslims in India go to Pakistan so they have their own country and they can live with their Muslim brothers and live in those in peace? Or should Muslims in the West leave the Western countries and go to Muslim countries so we avoid troubles? Would it be your proposition?
So there are about 250 million people in Pakistan too.
Yes,
Pakistan has got an exploding population.
yes,
It has no space for any more Muslims from India.
yes,
And Muslims from India, though they like Pakistan because it's a
yes,
Muslim country,
yes.
they don't want to go to Pakistan because the economy of Pakistan is in tatters. Pakistan is bankrupt.
Yes, I understand.
As far as the Muslims in the West is concerned, they will not move anywhere back. They will
Yes,
stay where they are. They will increase the numbers. Uh, they will not. They will not go back to any Muslim country.
yes, it
They
is
are
the
about,
same situation.
yeah,
Yes,
same situation basically.
yes,
There are about
yes,
50 Muslim countries, except for one or two like Saudi Arabia and UAE. Most of them are bankrupt
yes,
and they don't take any immigrants.
yeah.
And the Muslims in Europe want to stay in Europe. They don't want to leave Europe.
It is really a very locked situation. Locked situation. Nobody knows how to resolve this conflicting situation. Uh, Now, would you advise non-Muslims countries not to open their countries to Muslim immigrants?
They will not do so. The rich countries, the rich Muslim countries, won't even
Yeah.
let anybody from Syria there.
Yes. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia took 0 Syrian refugees,
Yes. Yes.
and Syrian refugees were all Sunni. And,
Yes.
and Saudi Arabia is Sunni, but Saudi Arabia didn't take a single Syrian refugee.
Yeah.
UAE did not take a single Syrian refugee.
Yes.
The countries like UAE and Saudi Arabia are modernizing now,
Yes.
and they don't want these crazy people coming in from different Muslim countries.
Yes.
The Muslim world is divided into 6 different pieces. The
Yes.
50 countries, you have the countries like Indonesia who are doing okay. Their Islam is different from, more moderate than the Saudi Islam. You have a country like Turkey, which was the most beautiful country you can imagine until this guy Erdogan came. I've been to Turkey 20, 25 years ago. They're beautiful people, beautiful country.
Yes.
And now this stupid guy has come and has put the hijab on every woman's head.
Yes.
So for 20 years he's been ruling. He's ruined everything that Ataturk. Basically, the Muslims need an Ataturk.
No, yes. Yes. Yes.
The Muslims of India need an Ataturk.
Yes.
Who will
Another Ataturk. Yes.
Ataturk?
Yes.
Who will tell them that this is wrong and this is right and this is the way to live and this is not the way to live.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Each
Yeah. Don't then you would ask for a Muslim reform, Islamic reform.
there is no Islamic reform. There is no Islamic reform. Islam refuses to get reformed.
And how would you then convince Muslims to change their way of thinking and living if you don't change their religion?
So basically, they have to change their religion, like Ataturk.
Yes.
He changed Islam in Turkey.
Yes.
He changed everything. He
Yes.
allowed drinking.
Yes.
He allowed the eating of pork.
Yes.
So he changed the religion.
Yeah.
Unless you change the religion, and unless you have a reformer like Ataturk,
Yeah.
you are not going to see any reform in Islam.
Oh, yeah. Are you desperating when you see what is happening in India and in the West?
Well, I mean, what happened in Israel is really bad. India is very good friends with Israel.
Yes.
So, of course, Israel has also not done a good thing in Gaza.
Yes.
But the problem is, who told the Hamas to
Yes.
kill 1,500 people?
Yes.
This is stupid.
Yeah.
Where
But you
did
need,
you?
see, Sunil, I am Palestinian, I am not a Muslim. But in fact, Hamas was created by Israel. Hamas was created by Israel. And Israel asked Qatar to give money to Hamas because they wanted to divide the Palestinians. And what happened in 7th October could not happen if Israel did not want it. Israel did everything so 7th of October happens so they can invade Gaza and kill whoever they like. Hamas is just a proxy of Israel. Israel knew everything in Gaza. You cannot imagine how the people of Hamas did do what they did unless Israel allowed it. So I cannot imagine that Israel ignored what was happening.
Right.
They pulled out their army 10 days before the invasion, Hamas invasion, so to give the way to Hamas to enter. And so
Right.
at least this is how I think it, because Israel is very, the borders of Israel are very good protected. How could you go with the bulldozers and destroy the walls and go to kibbutz and kill people? Where is the Israeli army? They disappeared. This was just a pretext. This was a pretext so Israel could invade Gaza because they wanted the gas of Gaza. They wanted to have a free land without any people inside. They wanted the land, they did not want the people. And this is the situation. Hamas is a stupid organization, but it was created by Israel. And
Okay.
This is what we know as Christians. I tell you that I cannot imagine Hamas could exist unless Israel allowed it. This is my point of view. I don't know how Indians or Europeans generally think. Yes, okay, okay. Uh, uh, Hamas did the wrong thing. Yes, it did the wrong thing. Yes, nobody can object that. It did a wrong thing. But how they could do it unless Israel allowed it? And they killed more than 30,000. Israel killed more than 30,000 people. 30,000.
Right.
And destroyed completely Gaza. You see, this was a good pretext for Israel to do what they are doing. You know,
Right.
the people who was giving money to Hamas was Qatar. And the money of Qatar went to Hamas through Ben Gurion Airport. Israel asked Qatar to pay money to Hamas
Right.
because they wanted Hamas to exist, so they have a pretext to destroy Gaza. This is how I can imagine that. Okay, it is a great a tragedy for all this region. Nobody knows how it will happen, but do you imagine a war between Pakistan and India?
Yeah, it's always possible. Tomorrow there is a terror strike in India from Pakistan. India will retaliate,
Yes,
and Pakistan will escalate.
yes,
So people say the Middle East is the most dangerous place on earth. Israel, Palestine, but India, Pakistan is also very dangerous, more dangerous because we have nuclear weapons.
yes. And I think Pakistan has already the atomic bomb, isn't?
Yeah, they have the atomic bomb. We have the atomic bomb. But Pakistan is not shy in using the atomic bomb.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
India does not have an atomic bomb,
no,
nuclear
India
bomb.
has. India has.
It has one.
Oh yes,
Ah,
yes.
oh, yeah. So there is a program to destroy all the planet now.
Well, yeah. I mean, the hatred between India and Pakistan runs deep.
Yeah,
Uh, the hatred runs deep because the Muslim who became Muslim in India, he came from the lowest caste and the outcast of Hinduism.
yeah,
And in Hinduism, he was persecuted. So
yes,
he became Muslim.
yes,
And when he became Muslim, he had all the rights to do whatever he wanted to caste Hindus.
yeah,
He would steal their women, steal their property, steal their land, steal anything he wanted to. So there is real hatred. Uh, the Muslim converts are really pissed off that they had to convert to Islam
yes,
because of the Hindu persecution of their caste.
yeah,
And the Muslims, the Hindus, uh, basically, the Muslim convert wants to persecute his former tormentor, the Hindu.
yes. How many Hindus live in Pakistan? How many Hindus live in Pakistan, Sunil? Do you hear me? Sunil, do you hear me? It seems you have a problem to hear me now. Okay. Uh, uh, Sunil, do you hear me? Sunil, do you hear me? This is a problem now. Okay, I hope he will come back. Yeah. Excuse us for this technical problem. He's speaking from India, and I had today a great problem with my computer, so I had to use my laptop to do this. I hope he will come back. I hope he will come back soon, so we could. I hope he will come back so we can at least finish this conversation. Ibtisam saying that there are many channels have the same problems today. Okay. I hope he will be coming soon. Okay, if somebody, okay, he's now coming back. Oh, I am happy to see you again.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Yes, and I was expecting you. Sunil, could you in 5 minutes say whatever you like? You see, whatever you like, that you so that we learn from you, because really you are a very precious person for us. We ignore everything about India. So feel free to say
So
whatever you
I will
like.
say is the biggest challenge
Yes,
posed to humanity is this
yes,
concept of monotheism.
yes,
If you see the Greek civilization or the Roman civilization, they were very much like Hindu civilization.
yes,
Now these two religions came first. No, three religions: Judaism. Uh, but Judaism does not convert.
yes,
It's monotheistic, but does not convert. Then
yes,
came Christianity, which is monotheistic and it converts. And the
yes,
same thing with Islam. It is monotheistic and it converts.
yes,
This zeal for conversion, for spreading the faith,
yes,
is the biggest problem the world is facing.
yes,
The zeal for propagating their one God is the best God. Jesus Christ above all is the best God, or Allah above all is the best God. That is posing the biggest problem to humanity.
yes,
And until Christianity has reformed, Christianity has not reformed itself. Look at what it did in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya, uh, Yemen. So
yes,
Christians have been the worst offenders in the last 30, 40 years,
yes,
worse than Islam.
yes,
But it's also true that a person like me can live more easily in a Western country than in a Muslim country,
yeah,
right? So the basic problem facing the world is this zeal for conversion, zeal for spreading the faith, and both these two religions should stop.
yeah,
How many Hindus? About 5 million.
yes,
A very small number. Their condition is very bad. They're always converted to Islam.
yes,
The girls, over 1,000 girls a year are abducted and converted to Islam and then married off to Muslim guys. It's a horrible situation for the Hindus in Pakistan, Hindus and Christians in Pakistan.
yes, yes,
It's a horrible situation.
yeah. I understand. Sunil, I hope your book will be very soon published so people can learn a lot from this book. Please feel this channel as yours. Whenever
Okay.
you like to come back to say whatever you like, this is, we say, this is a proletarian channel. You see,
Okay.
this is a proletarian channel. The purpose of this channel is to learn to hear to each other. This is the purpose of our channel. So everybody who would like to come to my channel, he has just to contact me. 5 minutes later, I fix him a session. So,
Okay.
and we have daily 1 or 2 sessions daily.
Okay.
You see, and we have more than 91,000 subscribers.
Okay.
You see, so please feel free whenever you like to say something. For example, to teach us about Indian religions. This is very important. This is very interesting thing. So feel free, please. Feel free.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I would like to thank you again. I would like to thank also to all the people who are now in the chat. They are all writing in Arabic. They are saying, look, you know, here in my channel, the people call me the Prophet Sami. The Prophet Sami, you see, and now they said, oh, now we have 2. We have 2 prophets. so,
Right. Right.
so they consider you now a second prophet. And this is the specialty. We say, you see, Muhammad said, I am the last prophet. I say, okay, this is his problem, but I would like also to be a prophet. You see, so I declared myself a prophet, and I
Right.
give the permission to everybody to become a prophet. You see, so we have so many prophets as they like, but I recognize every prophet as a prophet under the condition that he recognized me as a prophet. You see, this is the situation that if somebody considers me a prophet, I will recognize him a prophet. And they told me, do you recognize Muhammad as a prophet? He did not recognize me, so I don't recognize him as a prophet unless he changes his own mind. This is the religion. This is the way of thinking of this channel. You see, we try to joke, to explain things, but very important that you come back. Really, I really appreciated your book, and I hope really that I will have less technical problems, and we would like to ask you so many questions. So many questions.
Right.
How do you eat? Do you eat meat yourself, Sunil?
Yeah, I eat meat.
Do you eat meat?
I eat meat.
You eat, but you
Mais
don't eat,
pas de bœuf.
but not cow.
Pas de bœuf en Inde, pas de bœuf.
Okay,
Aux
okay,
États-Unis, de temps en temps, je mange de bœuf.
okay. So next time you will come and you tell us what is the situation of the cow in India. Why they don't consider it a holy, the holy cow, as we say in la vache sacrée. So we would like why you yes, respect this animal. Yeah, okay. So I wish you all the best. I will try to arrange the video that the first part would be clean, and please feel free also to use this video wherever you like.
Okay.
If you have a channel, you can put it on your channel. Tonight, I hope I will be able to clean this video, and I will send the link to you. So
Okay.
I wish you success in your life and in your writings.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
Merci, merci. Vous êtes très aimable, vraiment. J'étais très touché par votre sympathie, vraiment.
Merci,
Parce que vous
merci.
parlez bien le français, n'est-ce pas?
Oui, je parle, je parle.
Oui, alors on peut faire une émission en français. On peut faire une émission en français parce que j'ai beaucoup de gens de l'Afrique du Nord qui suivent ma chaîne en français.
D'accord.
Et moi, il y a moins en anglais, mais c'est important. C'est important. C'est la majorité. So, I wish you all the best and goodbye, dear friend.
Okay.
مع السلامة. مع السلامة. Au revoir. مع السلامة. مع السلامة. Okay. So